Hi guys, my name is Sharon and today I'm here to do a reading vlog. I am rereading the Hunger Games trilogy for the first time in 8 years. Let me tell you how this vlog should go because this is gonna be a little bit more difficult. So as you can see, there are 3 books in this trilogy. Each one is roughly 400 pages, I think. Because of that, I think it's best to do 2 updates per book. I already put like a post-it note right here. I am planning to do an update when I hit page 195 because that's literally like the halfway point of the entire book. I think this should work because if you don't know, I talk a lot. I have edited a lot of reading vlogs and guess what? I talk so much. So I don't want it to be hard for me to edit. So I think it's best to do 2 updates per book. And also this reading vlog should be spoiler free because I want it to be accessible to everyone. So let me tell you the synopsis of the very first book. If you don't know what The Hunger Games is about, it's a dystopian trilogy, and in the first book, our main character Katniss Everdeen, she volunteers to be a tribute because her sister was chosen to fight in the Hunger Games. Prim is literally 12 and Katniss is like 16, and she is not okay with the fact that her sister has been chosen to fight in the Hunger Games because people die. So it's very interesting reading this book 8 years later because I have changed and grown so much. And ooh, the commentary that this book will have, I cannot wait, because if you think about it, we have the Capitol and it's basically people in the upper class, and the Hunger Games is just like a form of entertainment for them. Meanwhile, people in the lower class, aka people who live in the districts, this is like their life. If you're really unlucky, then you have to fight in the game, but the only good thing is that your family will get food and stuff. So I'm pretty sure that's the thing. Like, wait, is it? Fuck, I don't remember. Oh my god, it's been so long, but I'm pretty sure that the people who put their names in the bowl multiple times, they will get more food for their family. So it's like really sad. I cannot wait to reread this trilogy. It's been so long and it's gonna be really fun. I have like good feelings about this. So yeah, I'm going to be reading this book. I will update you when I'm halfway through the first book. What's really special is that I'm gonna be reading this book with my boyfriend. So hopefully we're gonna have a lot of fun. Good morning. I hope I look kind of nice on camera. We will see when I edit this. Let's do an update on the Hunger Games. I'm on page 195. All right. When Effie says, "May the odds be ever in your favor," I was just like, shit, it's been so long. Back in 2012, I was a slut, a whore if you will, for the Hunger Games trilogy. But not just that, for the movie, because the movie came out and everyone was talking about it and I decided to give it a try. It was like amazing. I think the franchise is pretty good because we have Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth, and then other great actors and actresses. I will say there's like a few things that I don't remember just because it's not in the movie. So for example, the character Madge, she is the daughter of the mayor and she's friends with Katniss. And then of course the second thing that is definitely not in the movie is the Avox. In this book, we learn that Avox is a person who rebels and then they get caught and their tongue is being cut out so they don't talk. When Katniss and Peter are on the train, the Avox is like the servant. Katniss recognizes the girl and we learn that when she and Gale hunted in the past, the girl and a guy, they were caught and the guy was killed, but the girl, the Capitol took her away and now she's an Avox, and Katniss feels so guilty for not helping her and stuff. That was really interesting. So yeah, I totally forgot the Avox because like I said, it's not in the movie. First, let's talk about the first chapter. It was really good, but then also like this book is depressing. Like that's something that I have come to realize as I am rereading this for the first time in like a really long time. This shit is so sad. Of course, we learn about Katniss and her family predicament. I think 5 years ago, her father was killed in a mine. Her mom was so devastated and she kind of shut down. So Katniss became the head of the family. She hunted, she got food for the family, and oh my god, it was just so sad. And then of course we learned about the Hunger Games, the rebellion, the history. I'm pretty sure in the introduction I said that people can put in their names multiple times to get extra food for their family. In the first chapter, it was revealed that Katniss, her name was entered 20 times. And then of course Gale, her friend, his name was entered 42 times. I was so shook. I was like, oh my god, that so much because Gale, oh, his family predicament is also really sad. So he's the head of the family. His father was also killed in the same coal mine accident that killed Katniss' father. We get to the end of the chapter. The reaping is happening and Prim was chosen. The wildest part is that her name was entered once. She's only 12, so Katniss was like, just enter your name one time because she won't allow her sister to submit her name multiple times to get extra food. Her name was in there one time. Katniss, her name was in there 20 times, and we don't know about the other people. It's crazy when you think about it, but yeah. Prim was chosen, Katniss volunteered, and then she's one of the tributes. And then of course, one of my favorite characters entered the book, Cinna. I love Cinna. He is the Silas. He's the shit, okay? He is the shit. He's so nice, but not just that, he really cares for Katniss and Katniss really cares for him. You can tell that she is really hard to like, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to say that. I feel like for Katniss, she has every reason to not trust the people around her, especially now because she's part of the Hunger Games. And throughout this book, whenever Peeta does something nice, she questions his motives all the fucking time. And honestly, I get it. They're like rivals in a way because in this game, they know that only one person can win. Alright, this quote, page 85. So like I said, the Avox. Katniss recognizes the girl. I think she's talking about the Avox and how she feels guilty for not helping her back in the days, you know? She says, perhaps the girl doesn't even remember me, but I know she does. You don't forget the face of the person who was your last hope. It's such a good quote, and I feel like it's applicable to a lot of instances, like for example Katniss and the Avox, but not just that, Katniss and Peeta, because we have that flashback of how he helped her when she was starving to death and then he gave her the loaf of bread. So I thought that was really good. I have two more things to talk about and then we can end this update. Katniss, smart, resourceful, she's the shit. She's really good with the bow and arrow. I really adore Katniss, so I cannot wait to continue with the stories. The second thing that I want to comment is how this is a really good commentary, like the fact that the Capitol, the people in the upper class, how they view the Hunger Games as like a sporting event. Meanwhile, the people who are participated, they're required to do it just because it's part of the punishment. Yeah, people die. These are children. From the age of 12 to 18, they're being put into this place so they can kill each other for the sake of entertainment for the people in the Capitol. It's such a good commentary, but not just that. Oh my god, these people really eat up romance and love. Yeah. Okay, thank you. People in the Capitol love romance and all that stuff, so when Peeta played into this role of how he has a thing for Katniss, the girl in District 12 and all these things, star-crossed lovers and shit, it's really smart because the people in the Capitol will eat that shit up. Now I'm going to, of course, continue reading this book. I'm pretty sure I can finish this book either tonight or tomorrow because this book goes by really fast. I'm like pretty damn sure I can finish this in like a few hours, so I'm really enjoying this book. Oh my god, it's so much better than I thought, so I cannot wait to continue with this book because like I said, now we're in the Hunger Games. It's gonna be pretty intense. Hi, it's the next day. I'm here to do an update on the Hunger Games, and yes, I finished this book. I finished this last night. It was so good, so damn good, man. I had so much fun reading this book, and of course I felt a lot of emotions because I was really sad. So I cried twice. This death, I'm not going to say who it is, but I think you know because it's really sad and it's the one that has a huge impact on Katniss. I was crying a little bit. Like, the thing is, I had tears in my eyes, but I didn't really like cry. Not until she gets a loaf of bread from District 11. That's when I started crying, okay? Like, I was like, fuck, I forgot so much. When she did the thing with the flowers, she walked away and then she has a parachute coming down and it's a loaf of bread, and then she comes to the conclusion that it's from District 11, and it is. So of course Katniss and Peeta, they had to play star-crossed lovers. Let's get to this part. So the ending of this game, I knew it was coming, but still it was such a slap in the face when they changed the rule again. So in the middle of this book, there's a rule change. everyone was pretty happy about it, especially people from District 12, Katniss and Peeta, obviously, because it's like, oh my god, we can benefit from this. Then at the fucking end, let me read to you what they say, honestly, because it upset me, like the way they phrased it. Page 342. Greetings to the final contestants of the 74th Hunger Games. The earlier revision has been revoked. Closer examination of the rulebook has disclosed that only one winner may be allowed. Oh my god, I hated this. And then of course they outsmarted the game. Claudius Templesmith, he said stop. It was a pretty badass move, but then of course I remember what happened afterward, and of course it's not good. Okay, this is not good. I'm not gonna lie, after I read this chapter I looked up that scene from the movie, you know, where I cried like a little bitch. I'm going to talk about the commentary that this trilogy has and everything. So good, oh my god. So the game is over and Katniss is with like people from the Capitol. They have to make her look pretty and shit. This is at the end of page 353 to 354. It's funny because even though they're rattling on about the games, it's all about where they were or what they were doing or how they felt when a specific event occurred. I was still in bed. I had just had my eyebrows dyed. I swear I nearly fainted. Everything is about them, not the dying boys and girls in the arena. Beautifully said. It says so much how people in the Capitol, they either know or like they just don't give a fuck, okay? Like the Hunger Games is just fun for them. And then of course we have the game maker. Their goal is just to make this game really fun and entertaining. With this Hunger Game, they make this a love story because of Peeta and Katniss. Of course, that's why there was a rule change in the middle, because they need to make it interesting. And then of course there's a rule change at the end. They need to make it even more exciting. So wow, I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. I had so much fun reading this. And now of course, the best book in this entire trilogy, Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. And let me take up the dust jacket because it's been so long. So this is what it looks like. Very excited to start Catching Fire. I'll check back tomorrow. Good morning. It is 11:45. I woke up pretty early today. Well, early for me, but I know that it's late for a lot of people. So I'm here to do an update on Catching Fire. I am on page 204. It's been 6 months after the end of the Hunger Games. A lot of things have changed. For example, the victors, they now live in the victors village. First, let's talk about Katniss versus Peeta versus Gale. Remember back in the days where we have Team Peeta and then Team Gale? I hated the fact that I care so much about the romance in the books because back then I was a kid. I didn't really know any better, so I feel like I read the books because first the movie came out, so like I really wanted to be one of the people who read the books before they watch the movie. But then also I was a slut for Josh Hutcherson, so immediately I want her to be with Peeta. But then also like Peeta is kind of better than Gale. But now that I am 22 years old, I pay so much attention to the commentary, and then of course the uprising in the districts is so important, and I hate the fact that I noticed it in the past but I don't really pay attention. Now I pay so much attention to those things more than the boys. The love triangle is cute and all because it's like YA, but I can live without it, to be honest. And I know for a fact Katniss can live without it because she does not have the damn time to ponder about the boys, okay? Like she doesn't have the time. Katniss and Peeta, they have PTSD, and this is actually horrific. Like the thing is, I knew that they were gonna have PTSD. Obviously I've read the books before, but I definitely noticed it now. The fact that they both have nightmares, and for a while they would sleep on the same bed because they need each other. And now let's quickly talk about this part. So this is the part that stands out to me. It's on page 79. So this is commentary on the fact that the people in the Capitol, they have so much food. Meanwhile, people in the other districts, for example 12, 11, especially 12, because like we definitely see a lot of people starving, they don't have a lot of food. Now they do because there's 2 victors in District 12, but still a lot of people are suffering. So yeah, page 79. So this is when there's a party, I believe it's at the president's house. There's like so much food and Katniss is eating, and then her stylist team, I swear to god, they're so oblivious. One of them gives her this drink and turns out it can make you puke. So this is the conversation. Peter looks at the glass again and puts it together. You mean this will make you puke? My prep team laughs hysterically. Of course, so you can keep eating, says Octavia. I've been in there twice already. Everyone does it, or else how would you have any fun at the feast? I'm speechless, staring at the pretty little glasses and all they imply. So, let me break it down. Basically, just this drink that these people take so they can throw up and have an empty stomach to eat more food. Meanwhile, people in the districts are fucking starving. Katniss almost dies because she does not have any food. And now, the announcement of the quarter quell. I still get mad thinking about it because it's so upsetting. Like, I knew it was coming, but I will say it came earlier than I thought. So the quarter quell, I want to talk about this a little bit because I found it very interesting how every 25 years there's always something a little bit different, a little twist to make this even more fucked up. So in the very first one, this is on page 171, on the 25th anniversary, as a reminder to the rebels that their children were dying because of their choice to initiate violence, every district was made to hold an election and vote on the tributes who would represent it. How horrible is that? Like, instead of the reaping, like picking names randomly, they're like, okay, each district vote on the children that you want to send into the arena. Page 172, this is the second quarter quell. On the 50th anniversary, as a reminder that 2 rebels died for each capital citizen, every district was required to send twice as many tributes. So instead of the usual 24, we have 48 children fighting in the arena. So this is the third quarter quell. This is the one that's very, very important. On the 75th anniversary, as a reminder to the rebels that even the strongest among them cannot overcome the power of the capital, the male and female tributes will be reaped from their existing pool of victors. Oh my god, the chills that I have reading this part is so sad because at the end of this chapter, Katniss is losing her shit because she knows she's going back to the arena. And now this chapter, oh my god, I was so happy to be reading this. This happens in chapter 14. We see Haymitch fighting in the second quarter quell. This is definitely one of my favorite scenes in this book because it stands out to me. Like, even to this day, I still remember it. I wish it's in the movie, but I do understand why they didn't film it because it would have made the movie much longer. So Haymitch winning the Hunger Games. Remember, there were 48 tributes and he won. But the thing is, he kind of outsmarted the capital, just like Katniss in the 74th Hunger Games. I think he was on this cliff and below it, there's a force field. He didn't realize it until a rock, you know, fell and then it came back. So at the end, it was him and this girl from District 1. She threw an axe. It misses him. It, you know, goes over the cliff and she just stands there waiting for him to die. But instead, the axe comes back and kills her. And then boom, Haymitch won. It was such a good scene. So now we're getting to the good shit, okay? The Hunger Games, the 75th Hunger Games, the third quarter quell with the other characters. It's gonna be good, okay? It's gonna be stressful, but it's gonna be really good. Hi, good morning. That was a really weird introduction. I'm here to do an update on Catching Fire. I'm pulling up my notes right now because, you know, I had to take notes. I read like the last half in one sitting because I was busy the entire day yesterday. The minute I finished my homework, I was like, okay, time to finish this book. So I just sit down and finish the entire book and it was really good. So I'm here to tell you my thoughts, my opinions while I do my makeup because I have to film one video, well, refilm a video because I filmed it yesterday and the lighting was absolute shit. I feel the need to do it again so I can do the video justice. So we meet other characters, other victors. Finnick Odair. Wow. I feel like when I was young, I didn't really care about him, which is crazy because now, like, This man is amazing, to be honest. He's described as like really good looking. He's the youngest victor who has ever won the Hunger Games. I will never forget this because in the book, when Katniss was talking about Finnick Odair, she mentions that when he was in the Hunger Games, he got sponsors and they gave him a trident. Literally, they gave him an amazing weapon because he's from District 4. They're known for fishing, and you know, a lot of people know how to swim, they know how to fish and all that stuff. So the fact that like he got people to give him a trident though, that's crazy to me. Holy crap. I like Finnick Odair very much. I really like the other characters as well. I think the saddest part about this is that these victors are like old friends, okay? Like they know each other for years and everything. When they were training, we get like snippets of how they would talk to each other, they would eat lunch together, they would have fun and all these things, and I'm like, that sounds so nice and stuff. But of course, when you're in the Hunger Games, you know that you gotta kill each other because only one person can live. Let's talk about Effie real quick because she is a pretty important character. Honestly, I like movie Effie so much more because book Effie, I don't know, she's just not it, to be honest. Movie Effie is literally amazing. She's so funny, but not just that, she's compassionate. She has come to the realization that she adores these people from District 12. So of course, when she sees them suffer again because of the Hunger Games, she feels bad for them. So I see more of that in the movie than in the book. Elizabeth Banks, I think that's her name, she does such a good job with Effie because that scene, the reaping scene, literally makes me tear up every time just because of Effie. Like movie Effie is so great. I love the portrayal in the films. Of course, the Hunger Games begin. People are fighting, people are working together. I cannot say much because it is spoilery, you know, like who's gonna die and all that stuff. Okay, I cry. I literally cry when we have that conversation between Katniss and Peeta. What did he say? Did he say no one cares about him? Like, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Like, boy, I care about you. Right here, page 352. No one really needs me. He says that. I'm guessing his family life is probably shit because he's on TV, you know? Like, this Hunger Games is being broadcasted everywhere, and the fact that he says no one cares about me, no one really needs me, all these things. Imagine being related to him and just watching that scene. You must have felt so shitty. Oh, I cried. I really cried. Okay, here's the thing that I noticed about this book. The last half, I had so much fun because it was intense, but like it was also kind of funny. Like there's a few parts I find myself laughing. There's like a lot of light purple tabs that stand for funny, and yeah, it was kind of funny sometimes, and that was really weird to me because, you know, it's the Hunger Games. It's really sad. People die. Of course, Haymitch, I feel like I barely talk about him, but I have mixed feelings about him because I like him, but I also don't like him for what he's doing with our main characters. I feel frustrated for the characters because they're trapped in a way, well, literally in the Hunger Games. But not just that, Katniss is being trapped in this role as the Mockingjay. Imagine how much pressure you have just for that. Like, people look up to you because you're the symbol of rebellion, but you never want that. Katniss, like, in a way, you know, she hates the Capitol, and she of course wants an uprising rebellion, but she doesn't want to lead it. She's just a girl who just wants to protect her family. That's it. Yeah, finished with this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I love it so freaking much. And now we're reading Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. I'm kind of hesitant to read this one because this is, I feel like, people's least favorite book of the entire trilogy. Even back then, I didn't really like this book, but still, I am excited to reread this book. That's basically it. I'm going to finish doing my makeup and film some videos. Hi, my hair is in a bun and it is 9:39 p.m. right now. Oh my god. I thought I was gonna do this update earlier. So, Mockingjay. Right now, I'm on page 204. Let's talk about Katniss real quick. She is going through so much in this book. She constantly has nightmares, and of course, people treat her like she's fragile. I feel so bad for her because I feel like she doesn't deserve this, you know? And then, of course, she definitely feels a lot of pressure to be the Mockingjay. That was something that I have noticed. Peeta also, oh my god, he's going through so much in this and I feel so bad for him. My poor boy, okay? He's such a soft boy and seeing him suffer sucks a lot. For the first half of this book, I've noticed that Finnick and Prim are really great. Honestly, I don't even remember what I think about them in the past, but as of now, I have noticed that Finnick is so freaking amazing. Prim is also much different than the Prim in the first book, you know, like she has grown so much. Obviously, there's like a war going on and everyone is forced to grow up, but she is so mature in this book. I'm at a point where I'm like, oh my god, do not love them. Don't love them. Don't you dare fall in love with Finnick and Prim. Don't you dare do that. So that's something I've noticed. The last thing that I do want to say is that District 2 is much different than the other districts. In the first half of this book, we learned that District 2 is, I think, the only district that really listens to the capital. I don't want to say they easily follow their rules, but they're definitely influenced by the propaganda. We learned that peacekeepers are trained in District 2. I found that very interesting because I don't remember that at all. So that's basically it for my update. I just want to let you know that I am halfway through the book. I think I'm going to finish this book tonight, if not probably tomorrow. I don't want to exactly pressure myself to finish this book tonight because I need to do homework and stuff. I'm almost done with school, so I'm trying to be patient, but I do have homework that I need to do. It does suck that after I'm done with this, then I'm finished with the trilogy, and I'm kind of sad about that, to be honest, because this journey, I guess, has been really fun because the first two books were so freaking good. This book is much slower than I thought. I'm trying to like be positive when it comes to this book, but that no. I'm not gonna say anything. I don't need it to be amazing, like as amazing as the first two books. I just need it to be good, okay? Like that's all. This is the last book of a dystopian trilogy. I have learned that it is so hard to wrap up a dystopian trilogy. I have read a few in the past and let me tell you, the last book is always shit, okay? So with this book, I just need it to be good. I just needed to wrap up everything in a way and then we can call it a day, okay? So I'm trying to be positive, but yeah, gonna finish this book and I'll update you when I'm done with the trilogy. So good afternoon. I finally finished Mockingjay by Susan Collins for the last half of this book. It kind of destroyed me, but at the same time, I have a hard time rating this book. I have come to the conclusion that I'm giving this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars. However, there's just something about this book that's just hard to describe. I liked it, but I also don't like it. It's really weird. Now, I noticed that President Alma Coin is barely in this book because whenever she appears, I'm like shook because it's like, wait, where have you been this entire time? Maybe that's why I don't really love this book, just because Coin, someone who is very important in this book, is not really in it. And then of course I felt so much pain. I was crying and everything. I couldn't believe what I was reading. The thing is, I knew it was coming. I've read this book before, but like it hurt. It really hurt. Last but not least, Gale versus Peeta. I kid you not, I did not care about Gale literally at all. Whenever he says something, I just get pissed. I know, it's ridiculous. Peeta, on the other hand, I love him. He's a soft boy. I can't help it, okay? Like, I love soft boys. They're so great. I'm pretty happy with my rating, a 3.5. I think that's a pretty good rating for the last book. But at the same time, if you compare this book to like the first two books, oh my god, these two are like so good. I love The Hunger Games and Catching Fire so much. Mockingjay, it's not shit, I will say that, but it's not as amazing as these two. There we go. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.